Good evening. Hello, hello. It's time for another Leadership Monday. Welcome, everyone. So we're about to start. Medyo natagalan ako ng pagsisimula because I'm trying to figure out a layout for sharing my presentation and keeping the layout to portrait. Ano po. So I hope I'll do better tonight. So I'm moving from the landscape version to the portrait version. Hopefully, this is going to be more phone friendly, no? Kumpara doon sa landscape na ginagawa ko last time. So, good evening, everyone. This is going to be a continuation of our topic from last week. So, we're talking about building and sustaining teams. And if you had an opportunity to join us last week, ay anong tawag dito? We talked about the 4 stages of team development. Ano po? Yung forming, storming, at norming at performing. And tonight, we're going to continue with that topic. And pagka meron po tayong natirang oras, ay sasagutin po natin yung ilan sa inyong mga katanungan. No? So, habang nagwa-warm up ako, siguro magsasagot ako ng ilang tanong. Ano po ba ang consequences kapag tinanggihan po ang regularization? Ay di magre-resign na kung tinanggihan ng regularization. Sinong tumanggi? Yung empleyado o yung employer? Kung yung employer, ibig sabihin terminated yung employee. At kung yung employee naman ang tumanggi, ibig sabihin magre-resign na yung employee. So, ayan. So, yun yung kaisa-isang tanong no, na, oh, resign na yun. Kung di tinanggihan mo yung regularization, magre-resign ka na nun. Uh, anyway, so tuloy po tayo sa topic natin tonight, no? Uh, ano to? Sir Ed, top performer na lumipat ng ibang team pero hindi kinounter offer. Bakit kaya? Okay, depende po sa culture ng kumpanya. Alright, medyo mahaba-haba po yung topic natin ngayong gabi. So sisimulan na po natin. And I'd like to reintroduce or share again yung 5 dysfunctions ni Patrick Lencioni. Ano? And according to Patrick Lencioni, there are 5 dysfunctions. Yung una ay absence of trust. So when team members don't open up, they hide their weaknesses and keep their distance. Yung second na dysfunction ay fear of conflict, where team members avoid honest discussion and stay silent to keep the peace. Ang pangatlo naman na dysfunction ay lack of commitment, when team members don't trust each other, they're afraid of conflict, malamang hindi na pag-uusapang mabuti ang goals at strategy, so walang commitment. Ano? At kung walang commitment ang mga tao, obviously, magkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na avoidance of accountability. And avoidance of accountability, when people don't think the team strategy will work, they don't focus on results anymore. Team members focus on personal goals, status, no, ego over team results. So yun yung 5 dysfunctions. At ang pag-usapan natin ngayong gabi ay kung paano how to deal with. Sir Ed, di po kita yung nasa itaas na tatabunan ng pangalan mo po. Talaga? Hindi nakikita yung sa taas. How about that? Okay na po ba? Mas kita na po ba? Delete natin ng konti dito. Is that better? Please tell me if it's better. Ayan. Okay, so please continue to give me feedback. Kasi first time kong ginawa ito ng ganito eh. So I'm trying new things, at least new to me, no? Medyo digital immigrant ang lolo ninyo. All right, so simulan natin doon sa yung absence of trust. Syempre, if people don't trust each other, anong gagawin mo to build trust? So ano ang indication na walang tiwala ah, yung mga tao sa isa't isa. Yan. Yung nagtataguan ng weaknesses and mistakes. No? Walang umaamin ng pagkakamali and hindi humihingi ng tulong yung mga tao sa mga kasama niya sa ano no anong sabi rito, masyadong wide, di kita yung buong picture. Okay, ditan ko pa, ayan. So okay po ba yan? Hindi nakikita yung buong slides, ganun ba yon? How about that? Is that better? Ayan. Alright, sige. Grabe adjustment natin. Yung sa side nung ano nung slide, yun po ba yung slide? Yung side ng slide. Okay, let's try another one. How about that? Is that better? Hopefully that's better. Alright, sige. Nag-a-adjust po tayo. Ganun talaga. We're trying to learn how to do this properly. Going back sa topic, yan. Pagka ang team ay walang tiwala sa isa't isa, taguan ng weaknesses and mistakes, they hesitate to ask for help or give feedback or offer help or offer feedback, at madalas they jump to conclusion about others motive, no? Ang tawag natin doon, tamang hinala yung mga tao. So you can probably imagine what kind of damage that will cause the team, ano, pagka walang tiwala yung tao sa isa't isa. So ang term na ginamit ni Patrick Lencioni is absence of trust. Walang tiwala. Hindi niya sinabing low trust, no? Ngayon, paano mo malalaman na may tiwala ang mga tao sa isa't isa? Ayan, madaling maging accountable, admit mistakes, and they ask for help, no? And they welcome questions and input from each other kasi naniniwala sila na magandang intensyon ng mga kasama nila sa team. And they give each other the benefit of the doubt. So pag nagkamali ka, may mali kang ginawa, hindi iisipin ng kasama mo na sinadya mong magkamali, no? Wala naman sigurong tao na sasadyaing magkamali, no? Of course, I could be wrong. So yun. So now the question is, how do you build trust, right? How do you build trust? So leader ka at gusto mong ma-build yung tiwala sa isa't isa. Hindi lang yung tiwala nila sa iyo, kung hindi yung tiwala sa isa't isa. There are 3 things that you need to work on, no? Ano yung what builds trust? Okay? So 3 things build trust. Una, familiarity. Mahirap magtiwala sa mga taong hindi mo kilala, no? And by kilala, I don't just mean names, no? Knowing people's personality, their values, what's important to them, ayan, yung strengths, yung weaknesses nila ay essential, no? So bilang isang leader, you have to create opportunities for people to know each other better, personality, strengths and weaknesses, no? Ayan. Yung pangalawa ay norms or ground rules, rules of engagement. Basically, it answers the question, how do we work together effectively as a team? And syempre, hindi sapat na meron tayong kasunduan, importante na nire-respeto yung kasunduan na yun. So I'm gonna give you some examples of what I'm talking about here. Okay? Bilang isang leader, yung norms, hindi dapat ikaw lang yung nagbibigay sa team mo. Hindi mo sasabihin sa yung team na, o team, ito ang ating norms. Hindi. You sit down with the team and then you agree. Pag-usapan ninyo, no? So, hopefully, kung leader ka at wala kayong team norms, hopefully bukas, no, you schedule a meeting with your team members and come up with team norms that promote trust. Okay? Ano ang mga characteristics ng norms that promote trust? Una, clear, specific, no? Malinaw kung ano yung pinagkakasunduan natin. It's relevant to your team, right? It's actionable and it's consensus-based. Meaning, nag-agree ang lahat, nagsang-ayon yung lahat ng members ng iyong team that this is how you're going to work together. Okay? So here are examples of team norms na natutunan ko rin with other teams, no? So, because I've facilitated dozens, maybe close to 100 team building workshops for different companies, uh, in my 30 years of work as a training facilitator, no? So yan, we speak honestly and respectfully. We listen to understand before responding. We keep our commitments. We clarify expectations. We address issues directly with the right people. In short, bawal ang chismis. Malakas makaguho ng trust. Malas makasira ng trust yung chismis, di ba? We own our mistakes, so people demonstrate accountability. We share information that others need to succeed. Hindi mo pababayaang magkamali yung kasama mo sa team. We support each other during pressure, okay? And we protect psychological safety. So, alin dito sa tingin ninyo, given your respective teams, alin dito yung sa tingin nyo kailangan? Okay? Sa inyong team. Please share your thoughts in your in our chat. Alin dito yung kailangan ng inyong team, ano? At kung meron akong hindi nabanggit, alin yung sa tingin yung norms na kailangan yung ng inyong team. Ulitin ko, no? We speak honestly and respectfully. We listen to understand before responding. We keep our commitments. We clarify expectations. We address issues directly with the right people. We own our mistakes. We share information that others need to succeed. We support each other during pressure, and we protect psychological safety. Okay, sabi ni December Drop, own our mistakes, keep our commitments. I like those, but I want you to remember this. Hindi gagawin ng mga tao yan if walang psychological safety. 'Di ba? Kung delikadong aminin ang pagkakamali mo, paano ka nga amin? Oo. So, importante yun, ano? So, supporting each other, protect psychological safety, very important for me as an aspiring leader. Tandaan po natin, kailangan may agreement tayo, i-honor natin ito, irerespeto natin ito, at nire-review sa aking team, kasama sa strategic planning namin, yung pagre-review, kung nasusunod ba namin yung aming team norms. Yan din po ang aking suggestion sa inyo. Okay? So yan po, team norms. Kung wala pa kayong team norms, have one. Okay? Next is okay, let me summarize yung trust building component. Ano? Building trust summary. Una, trust is the foundation of teamwork. Hindi magiging successful ang team kung walang tiwala sa isa't isa. Okay? Next is on a team, trust is all about vulnerability, no? Which is difficult for most people. So, kaya importante yung psychological safety. Building trust takes time, but the process can be greatly accelerated. Okay? And then finally, like a good marriage, trust on a team is never complete. It must be maintained over time. Kaya sa aming team, ay nire-review po natin yan. By the way, bago ko po makalimutan, hindi ko alam kung may papakita ko rito. Let me see if I can show it. Meron po kasi akong dinevelop na toolkit on team development na nakabase dito sa presentation na sinishare ko, no? And sinishare ko po yung toolkit na yon doon po sa mga nakasubscribe sa aking exclusive group, no? So, gusto nyo makakuha ng kopya ng presentation, yung full video, at saka yung toolkit, ay mag-subscribe po kayo, punta kayo sa Edwin C. Ebreo page sa Facebook, and then mag-subscribe po kayo, makakakuha po kayo ng kopya ng lahat ng ipinakikita ko po sa inyo ngayon. Ayan. Sabi ni Jay, don't you need to establish authority and credentials? Importante yung authority at saka credentials, no? In fact, napag-usapan natin yan last week during the forming stage, no, when we talk about setting and leveling of expectations. Napag-usapan natin yung Ano bang dapat mong sabihin sa mga team members mo sa umpisa? Okay? Especially when it comes to decision making. Ano yung mga decision na ina-empower mo sila? Ano yung decision na dapat nilang isangguni sa iyo bilang isang leader, no? Isa lang yung gusto kong ma-emphasize dito when it comes to authority, no? Ah, dapat ano dapat yung authority kasi ay pansamantalang kapangyarihan, okay? Dapat mapalitan yun ng, pag napalitan yung authority ng trust, then what you use now is influence rather than authority. Okay? Commercial. Anong araw or time ka nagla-live ng ganito, Sir Ed? Okay, every Tuesday, every Monday, kaya tawag natin ay Leadership Monday, every Monday, 8:00 ng gabi hanggang 9:00. Ano po? So, ayan. So, that's building trust. Ano yung pangalawang dysfunction? Fear of conflict. So, team members avoid honest discussion and stay silent to keep the peace. Please note na yung fear of conflict ay nangyayari because people don't trust each other. Yun yung simula nun eh. Ano ang sign na may problema yung team mo pagdating sa communication? Ang meeting boring. Sino rito taas ang kamay ng boring ang meeting sa kanilang opisina? Yeah, boring ang meeting, hindi nagsasalita yung mga tao during the meeting, yung boss lang yung nagsasalita. They create an environment where back channel politics and personal attacks thrive. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Yes, kapag kakaharap ka, no, pag nakatalikod ka, may kasama pang pintas. In short, nagsisiraan yung mga tao. They ignore controversial topics that are critical to team success. So pagka may mga issue, hindi napapag-usapan. Sign yan na may problema tayo sa conflict management. Kasi the thing about avoidance of conflict, when you try to avoid conflict, you'll have more conflict. Weird, ano? Kapag iniiwasan mo yung conflict, lalong dumadami yung conflict. Oo. Para siyang sakit na lumalala pagka hindi mo siya in-address agad. Anong sign na, what is the sign na merong maayos na communication sa inyong team? Ayan. Meetings are lively and interesting. Everybody's involved. Extract and exploit ideas from all team members. So, hindi, anong tawag dito? Hindi yung boss lang ang nagsasalita, kagaya ng sabi ni Jean, ano? So, yung mga tao, nakakapag-share sila ng idea. They're excited. Excited sila na mag-share ng kanilang ideas. May debating nang nangyayari, may argumento, but people are still okay. As a result, they get to solve problems quickly. Para sa akin, ang isang sign that your team is high-performing is that they're able to argue and still be able to eat lunch together. Di ba? So, yan. What if emotionally reactive ang leader? Ang sagot ko doon is dapat hindi. No? In fact, itong lesson na ito ay talagang para sa mga leader eh. Importante na hindi balat sibuyas ang leader. Oo. Yun nga ang problema natin dito sa Pilipinas. Dapat ang leader hindi balat sibuyas, pero ang daming leaders balat sibuyas. Yun yung isang problema. No? Okay? Dapat confident ka as a leader. Confident ka na whether people agree with you or not, you're still the leader. Diba? Ayan. Meron tayong tinatawag na the elephant in the room that we are not talking about. Ano yung nire-represent nung elephant in the room? Ito yung mga problemang matagal nang hindi pinag-uusapan. Madalas ko naririnig yan during problem solving and decision making. May magsasabi sa akin, "Sir, alam mo, ang tagal na namin problema niyan. Matagal na namin problema yan." Tapos sasabi ko, ba't hindi nasosolve? Hindi kasi namin pinag-uusapan. Yan. Nangyayari po ba yan sa inyong team na meron kayong mga problema na everybody knows the problem, everybody probably understands the problem from their own perspective, pero hindi pinag-uusapan? Oo. Pero nakakawala ng trust pag ang leader pinagtatawanan ka, pag nagkakamali ka. How do we handle that? Ayan. Kaya importante yung norms eh, no? Oo. Importante yung norms para hindi nagkakapikunan sa usapan. Okay? Ah, madalas sa mga team lalo na kapag medyo mataas yung personal relationship, mataas yung bantering, yung alaskahan, yung asaran. Pero kasi kapag ikaw yung leader, syempre pagka-insulting yung sinasabi mo, medyo masakit yun. So, dapat malinaw kung ano yung do's and don'ts pagdating sa communication. Ayan. Okay, let's talk about it offline. Oh, yun na nga eh. Walang mag-concede. Ayan. Mahirap yun. Kaya mamaya pag-usapan natin yung paano tayo gagawa ng norms. One of the reasons why communication is difficult in many organizations is because people try to guess kung ano yung pwede at saka hindi pwede. So kung malinaw yung pwede at hindi pwede, it's easier for people to communicate. Ano? Ayan. So, sabi ni Otto Scharmer, yung author ng Theory U, sabi niya, we need to elevate our communication. Tayong mga Pinoy, may tendency tayo to communicate dito sa baba. Yung talking nice at saka talking tough. Ano yung talking nice? Conforming yun eh. Saying yes even if you mean no. Is everything clear? Yes. Do you have any question? None. Can we do this? Yes. Tapos paglabas ng leader, sasabihin, ano yun? Ewan ko, di ko rin naintindihan. Eh. No? So we feel like we have to tell the boss what the boss needs to hear rather than what the boss wants to hear rather than what the boss needs to hear. Ayan. Yung isang side sa baba is talking tough, which is confrontational. Labanan siya, no? Debate, competition, tagisan ng talino. I'm right, you're stupid. So, yun yung problema. Kapag competitive ka, syempre, matinding, yan, no? Balitaktakan. Pagka ikaw ay ayaw mo ng balitaktakan, di tatanggapin mo na lang, babalik ka dun sa talking nice. No? So, mahirap yung ganong klaseng communication. So, ano sabi ni Otto Scharmer? We need to elevate it to the next level. Reflective dialogue or humble inquiry is connecting. So, ano dapat ginagawa ng leader? Sa team, pagka may problema, ang style ng leader ay facilitative. No? Ano yung facilitative? Instead of telling the team what to do, maybe the team can ask the team how they want to solve the problem. So, team, medyo bumababa yung ating productivity. Ano bang pwede natin gawin para matumaas ang ating productivity? Di ba? Instead of saying, ang baba ng productivity natin, ang tatamad nyo kasi, ito ang gawin nyo, di ba? Hindi ganon. So reflective dialogue is actually asking for help from your team members. And that should lead to collaborating, which is called generative dialogue. Collaborating, building on each other's idea, brainstorming. So, in your team, anong klaseng communication yung nangyayari? Talking nice ba? Talking tough? Nangyayari ba yung reflective dialogue at saka yung generative dialogue? Sana po ma-elevate natin yung communication dun sa taas. No? Reflective and generative dialogue. Sa Pilipinas, walang suggestion na nanggagaling sa boss. Pag ang suggestion nanggaling sa boss, instruction yun. Kaya importante na yung leader, hindi bino-volunteer agad yung solusyon niya kung gusto niyang mag-generate ng idea sa mga team members. So honestly, ask your team, anong pwede nating gawin? No? Should there be a change in how you communicate if you are to be a new leader to your close teammates? Yes, definitely. Kailangan yung pag-usapan kung paano yung changes in communication. What if tama naman po ang leader sa solution? Okay. Uh, hindi ka naman nakikipagkompetensya sa yung team member eh. Let's say for example, ako yung leader at meron akong naiisip na solusyon doon sa problema, but that's my opinion. Opinion ko yon bilang isang tao, no? From my perspective, tama yung solution ko. Okay? So if I'm close-minded, sasabihin ko, hindi ko natatanungin yung team members ko, uutusan ko na lang sila dahil naniniwala ako na tama yung solution ko. If you are a leader and you want to increase collaboration, whether tama sa tingin mo o mali yung iyong solution, you open it up to your team and ask them, ano sa tingin niyo pwedeng solusyon, no? Ito, ano yung naisip nyo? With complete open-mindedness. In short, you're looking for a better solution than you originally have, no? So sasabihin mo sa team mo, sige na, I need suggestions from you. O nakalimang suggestions ka. None of those suggestions are better than your solution. Anong gagawin mo? Ito ang gagawin mo. Team, narinig ko yung inyong mga suggestions. Okay, I see the merits of those suggestions. Now, I want to share mine and I want you to ask questions. I want you to maybe shoot some holes on my suggestion because I'm also not sure if this will work. Ito, ipapaliwanag ko. Di ba? Paliwanag mo. Okay. And if you are able to create a psychologically safe enough environment in your team, they should be able to tell you the truth, no? They should be able to say, mas maganda nga yung suggestion mo, boss. Diba? Or they say, boss, paano kung mangyari ito? Anong gagawin natin? Or, boss, ano kaya kung yan ang gagawin natin tapos idagdag natin ito? So, speak last. Offer your solution last. No? Your suggestion, but how about my suggestion? Medyo tricky talaga yun eh. Yung part na yun. So, importante talaga na merong, meron kayong pamamaraan sa pagpili ng tamang idea. Ngayon, kung lagi kang nanghihingi ng suggestion sa team members mo, pero walang nananalo lagi, at the end of it, laging ikaw yung nananalo, then people will people will start doubting your process or your sincerity for, asking for solutions. So, imposible namang ikaw lang lagi ang tama, 'di ba? Oo, ayan. So, ayan. So, I hope na nakakatulong ito, no? Let's continue. All right. So, how do we engage people in honest and open communication? Okay? Una ay yung tinatawag nating equality and absence of coercive influence. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Pagka leader ka dito sa Pilipinas, marami kang coercive influence. For example, in my case, no, sa team namin, ako yung pinakamatanda. Okay? Ako yung pinakatanda. Ako yung CEO. Mas malaki ang boses ko. Mas konti ang accomplishment ng mga team members ko. So, ang dami kong coercive influence, no? Pagka sinabi ko mali ka, tama ako, automatic 'yon, ano? They will succumb to it. So, anong pwedeng gawin? Para mawala yung coercive influence or mabawasan. You need to be you need to be as a leader, you need to be accustomed to asking for help and asking for ideas from your team members, no? Sabi ni Nems, it's really hard to come up with reflective dialogue because of a messianic complex followers. Yung followers may messianic complex. Wow, okay. So, if we don't want to be judged, dapat siguro iwasan din natin yung maging judgmental tayo sa mga tao, no? So, some people are may mga taong mahilig mag-isip, no? Ano sila? One of their strengths is probably ideation. So, ito yung mga madalas natin sinasabihan na epal or bida-bida, because it's in their personality to look at problems and suggest solutions. At kung assertive sila, hindi sila natatakot sabihin kung ano yung gusto nila. Ano siya, hindi siya masamang personalidad, personalidad siya, no? So, what do you do with that? You try to take advantage of it, no? As long as you maintain objectivity. Hindi yung, uy, nagsasalita na naman tong may messianic complex na to, di ba? You know, evaluate their inputs. Don't evaluate the person. O may sinabi si taong mahilig mag-suggest. Pakinggan mo yung suggestion niya with objectivity, no? Maganda ba yung suggestion? Di maganda yung suggestion. Okay? Mahirap kasi pag may label na tayong nilagay sa tao eh. Parang ito rin yan. Masungit yan. O mahirap kausap yan. O boss yan. Di ba? O, ihiwalay natin yung tao doon sa idea. Oo. Yun yung importante yun eh. So, equality and absence of coercive influence. Ano pa? Active listening with empathy. Importante na matutunan natin bilang leaders yung empathy. Na marunong tayong makinig at maintindihan natin kung saan nanggagaling yung kausap natin. Very important. Ano pa? Bringing assumptions into the open. Okay? Assumptions, lahat ng tao ay may assumptions. Okay? And kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng problema, miscommunication, because we don't compare perspectives, di ba? So, importante itong tanong na to. Anong tingin mo dito sa issue na to? Ito ang tingin ko dito sa issue na to. Tama ba yung intindi ko sa sinasabi mo? Ito ba ang ibig mong sabihin? Checking for understanding. Kasi pag mali ang akala, false assumption, mali ang akala mo, inaksyonan mo yung maling akala mo, that's dangerous eh, di ba? That's scary. So, para maging maayos yung communication natin, dapat hindi tayo takot sabihin, ito kasi yung intindi ko sa sitwasyon na yan. Ikaw ba, ano bang intindi mo? Di ba? Hindi tayo nag-aaway. We're just trying to understand the issue, di ba? Ang norm namin sa ExecuServe ay ito. Attack the problem, do not attack the person. Or focus on the issue, not the person. What if iyak na lang ng iyak kapag pino-point out yung mali, tinatanong pa lang bakit yun ang ginawa? Okay. If I'm going to try to reflect on what you're saying, is bakit siya iyak ng iyak? Okay. Is it the way you're communicating it? Does it sound like an attack? Di ba? Does it sound like an attack? Kasi if it sounds like an attack, it will feel like an attack. Tayong mga Pinoy ay merong virtue called hiya. Ayaw nating napapahiya. So maganda na pagka kinakausap natin yung tao, hindi sa harap ng marami. Praise in public, correct in private, or reprimand in private. Ganon. So, ngayon, kung iyakin, may mga taong iyakin eh. As long as, hayaan mo siya umiyak. Pero ang importante is, are you treating the person fairly? Maayos ba yung pagkakasabi mo? And can you continue to collaborate habang umiiyak siya? Yun yung kailangan din siguro one thing that I would like to suggest to you is if you feel like you are hurting people unintentionally, halimbawa pag nagsasalita ka, bakit ba itong mga to napaka-sensitive? Maayos ko namang sinasabi yung gusto kong sabihin, hindi ko naman sila hinihiya. Bakit ganun pa rin ang reaction nila sa akin? Okay? I hope you will take this suggestion. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Humanap ka ng mga kaibigan or kakilala mo na sasabihan ka ng totoo. Tanungin mo sila, sabi mo, pagka ako ay merong hindi nagustuhan at ako'y magsasalita, how do I come across? Tingnan mo, no? Pakinggan mo yung sasabihin nila. Baka may bibigay sila sa yung magandang feedback. Okay? So, going back, bring assumptions into the open. Okay? Next is responding without challenging or reacting in a judgmental way. Okay? Ano sabi? What if berdugo po talaga yung manager? Even team, hindi mapagtanggol. Nilalaglag pa mismong team niya. Meron akong shinare na video kanina. 5 videos yon. I highly recommend that you that you view the videos of the 3 traps of unprepared leaders, no. One reason kung bakit nangyayari yan, yung mga berdugo na mga manager na sinasabi natin, is because they are unprepared for leadership, no? Babalikan ko to. Responding without challenging or reacting in a judgmental way. Meron akong kilalang manager. May kilala akong manager. At kapag kakausap niya yung kanyang team members, mahinahon ang pagkakasabi niya. Pero galit na galit sa kanya yung kanyang team members. You know why? Ganito ang sagot niya. Kapag hindi niya nagustuhan yung solusyon, halimbawa may problema, at hindi niya nagustuhan yung ginawa nung team member niya, nakangiti siya, no? Pinag-isipan mo yan. Pinag-isipan mo pa talaga yan. Yan talaga naisip mong solusyon. Nag-iisip ka ba? No, gano'n, ano? Di ba? Oh, tatawanan, ano? Oh, di ba? Yung iba pa, bibiruin ka. Paminsan-minsan, gamitin mo naman yung utak mo. Ikaw talaga, oh, di ba? So, di ba? So, kung minsan, akala natin, mabait tayo, pero actually, nakakasakit na tayo ng damdamin, eh. Because, judgmental yung pagsasalita natin. We really have to pay attention to how we communicate as leaders. Kasi, iba na yung estado mo pag leader ka. Yan. Good evening po sa good evening. Exodus at JCG. Okay? Ayan. At saka pag may conflict, you have to deal with the team conflict, no? You have to know ano bang mga communication style or conflict resolution style ng iyong mga team member. Okay? Ito po, please take note of this. May nada-download dito sa internet. Yung Thomas Kilman conflict modes, no? At sa aking team po kasi, lahat kami sumasagot nitong questionnaire na to. Because we want to know how we can adjust to each other. Ang aking style is not ideal for collaboration. Competing kasi yung style ko, eh. Gusto ko nananalo ako sa argument. But because I know I'm able to adjust, no? Ang ideal na style sa team ay collaborating. Unfortunately, dito sa Pilipinas, maraming avoiding at saka accommodating ang style. Ano yung accommodating? Yung sige na, ikaw na ang tama, ako na yung mali. Yun yung accommodating. Yung avoiding naman, hindi sasali sa usapan. Hindi ako makikialam dyan dahil ayoko madamay. Yung compromising, ayan, let's meet halfway. Okay? Ang ideal sa teamwork ay collaborating. Right? So, when you know, if everybody in the team knows the communication or conflict resolution style of each person, it will help them. No? Okay. So, sabi natin kanina, dapat meron tayong norms or trust norms. Meron din tayo dapat collaboration do's and don'ts as part of the norm. Ito yung example ng mga norms na nakikita ko sa iba't ibang team. Una is respect decisions. Merong isang team, ang sabi nila, disagree and then commit. Ibig sabihin, pagtalunan natin yung solusyon sa problema, pagkatapos natin magtalo, at nag-decide na yung leader kung anong dapat gawin, we will all commit to that decision. Okay? Speak up, share your thoughts, share your ideas, or else forever hold your thought. No? So, disagreeing is not disrespecting. Yan, importante yan sa team ko eh. Yan yung lagi namin sinasabi. Just because we disagree with each other doesn't mean we disrespect each other. Minsan may naririnig ako, magkukwento, sasabihin. Mali, alam mo, mali yung sinasabi ni Ed eh. Ayoko lang magpakita ng disrespect kaya hindi ko siya kinontra. Ano yun eh? Hindi yun useful sa team. Kasi kung meron tayong hindi pinagkakasunduan, dapat mapag-usapan natin. So don't say yes if you mean no. Okay? Attack the problem, do not attack the person. Okay? Yan. Importanteng norm yan. Hindi po ako sumasagot sa mga political question. Ano po? This is not the place for that. So come to the meeting prepared. Yan, importante yan. Pag nasa meeting, pag-usapan nat bawal yung pupunta sa meeting na hindi prepared. Okay? So ayan po yung mga pwede nating pag-usapang collaboration do's and don'ts sa ating team. All right? Ano ang key points natin pagdating sa collaboration? Kailangan ng tiwala. Conflict must not be avoided. They should be managed. Kasi tandaan po natin, if we avoid the conflict, we will have more conflict. Yes, attack the problem, not the person. Collaboration norms must be continually enforced. So kasama sa nire-review namin sa aming team yung aming team norms. Tinatanong namin, ito bang norms na to nasusunod natin? Effective pa ba siya? Kailangan ba nating dagdagan? Okay. So don't let fear of conflict stop you from discussing issues. So may nagtatanong kung professor po ba ako. Hindi po ako professor sa college, but I run a lot of leadership and management training for various organizations in different organizations, no, private at public sector. No? Ano po ba ang meaning ng norms specifically? Yung norms ay unwritten rules or ground rules. No? Ayan, yun po yung norms. Rules of engagement. Without conflict, there will be no growth. I agree. Kasi yung conflict allows us to examine different ideas, different solutions, di ba? Parang yung manager ko, instead harapin ang problem ng production, sinisisi yung mga empleyado. Underdeveloped po yung mga manager na mahilig manisi. Underdeveloped po yun. Kulang yun sa leadership confidence and competence. So that's fear of conflict. Sabi ni Ronald Reagan, a lot of the problems in the world, okay, a lot of problems in the world would disappear if we talk to each other instead of about each other. Ayan. Question, sir, how to convert that norm into a company policy? Pag company policy, policy na yun. Yung norm kasunduan lang eh. No, kasunduan sa team, parang house rules, parang gano'n. Hindi kailangang hindi kailangang merong penalty pagka na-violate mo. Kasunduan siya. Kaya tinatawag natin siyang team norm. At paano po ito magmamatter sa totoong buhay? Okay, that's a good question to ask. No? Itong pinag-aaralan natin na ito, if we can create a better environment in the team, some problems will be easier to solve. Tataas yung productivity. Pag tumaas yung productivity, hopefully you are working in a good company where productivity and quality of work is rewarded. So you get more rewards. No? People become more successful and they make progress. No? Ayan. Underdeveloped pero manager na po sila. Bakit po ganun? Dahil posible, kagaya nung sabi ko kanina, na yung mga senior manager sa kumpanya ay wala ring magandang estratehiya sa pagde-develop ng mga leaders. Oo. Marami pong kumpanya sa Pilipinas ang walang programa pagdating sa development ng mga managers at supervisors. Ano? In fact, nag-survey ako recently, about 40% nung sumagot sa survey ang nagsabing walang maayos na training sa kanilang kumpanya, at yung iba sinabi may training pero hindi maayos. Okay. Pwede bang ireklamo ang company pag na-late ka ng 1 minute, automatic half day ka na? Subukan niyo pong ireklamo sa DOLE. Kasi unfair po yun. Okay lang po ba na ipagtanggol ang staff sa client kahit mali sila? Hindi ko po alam yung context, hindi ko po masasagot yun. Kailangan nyo pong ma-meet yung standard. Ano pong gagawin ko? Tinanggal po ako ng leader namin dahil hindi ko na-meet yung standard na pinapas niya. Oo. So, syempre, kailangan ma-meet natin yun. Balik po tayo sa ang tawag do, three traps of unprepared leaders. Check nyo lang po yung video na yun. Okay, tuloy natin yung ating 5 dysfunctions of a team. Lack of commitment. Okay? Lack of commitment. So, ano ang itsura ng team na walang commitment? Tandaan po natin yung when team members don't trust each other, when they don't trust each other, and they don't have good communication, nagiging malabo yung direction at priority ng team. Nadidelay yung mga action kasi nag-analysis, paralysis, at second guessing. No? They breed fear of failure and low confidence. Yan yung sign na meron kayong dysfunction. Ano? Anong kailangan mo? Clear direction, decisive action, and confident team. So anong sign na maayos ang team ninyo pagdating sa commitment? You're able to create clarity around direction and priorities. Everyone in the team is aligned, and you are able to learn from mistakes and move forward quickly as a team. Ayan. Lahat po ng discussion nyo ay apply din sa government. Opo, ang problema lang is yung willingness ng mga leaders sa government to apply some of the concepts. Unfortunately, that is not always the case. Anong kailangan mo para tumaas ang commitment ng team? Buy-in at saka clarity. Ano yung buy-in at clarity? Okay? Honest emotional support. Anong ibig sabihin ng honest emotional support? Yung mga member ng team mo, pag meron kayong gustong gawin, everybody wants to do it. Okay? At ang pinag-uusapan lagi is kung paano tayo magsasucceed, hindi yung kung paano tayo papalpak, di ba? Ayan. Ano naman yung clarity? Clarity is understanding and acceptance of the role that people play in the team. Naintindihan nila anong role nila and willingness nila to do the difficult task. So the question now is, anong pwede mong gawin para magkaroon ng emotional buy-in at saka clarity yung team members? Una, kailangan malinaw yung goal ng team. Ano ba ang goal ng inyong team? Dapat malinaw yan. Di ba? Ito yung mga examples ng mga goals na pwede mong iset for your team. No? Improve client engagement, enhance crisis response, standardize production process, strengthen team collaboration, increase service awareness. Alin dito ang kailangan nyo i-prioritize? Kung wala dito sa listahan na ito, malinaw ba sa bawat isang member ng team kung anong kailangan gawin? Kanina, meron kaming team meeting, and it's a once a month meeting. And everybody's doing their report. Nagpipresent sila ng report. And then I asked them, tinanong ko sila, Sabi ko, I think at this point, kailangan nating mag-agree dito sa mga dapat nating gawin sa susunod na meeting. No? Sabi ko, una, kailangan malinaw sa atin kung bakit tayo nagre-report. Kung bakit yan yung nire-report natin. And then second, anong gusto nating mangyari because of the data being reported. Those two things. And sa susunod na pagre-report ninyo, hopefully, may mababago sa pagre-report ninyo kasi malinaw sa ating lahat kung ano yung importante. No? Huwag natin pag-usapan yung hindi importante. Pag-usapan lang natin yung importante. And I want you to decide on what's important. No? So, kanina, nung pagkatapos ng meeting, nag-iisa-isa na sila. Sinasabi lang, siguro ito yung gagawin ko sa report ko para mas useful siya sa bawat isa. No? So, pag-usapan nyo po, ano ang importante sa team natin? Ano yung dapat nating ma-accomplish as a group? Ayan. Establish a team contract. Ano yung team contract? Okay? Example po ito, team norms ito. Pag-usapan ninyo, ano ba dapat, pag nagmi-meeting tayo, ano ba dapat yung structure at schedule ng ating meeting? Ano yung acceptable and unacceptable behavior during meetings? Yan. Yung iba pupunta sa meeting, may dalang laptop, magbubukas ng laptop o kaya nakatutok yung muka sa cellphone, di ba? Preferred methods of communication, cellphone, email, etc. Timeliness of responding to one another using those methods. Gano'ng katagal ka pwedeng maghintay sa sagot ng teammates mo? Minsan nagkakaroon ng kasaran, ng inisan just because some people do not reply to their emails. Di ba? Use of common resources. No? Extent to which being on time is a priority. Gano'ng ka-importante yung timeliness sa atin at sa team? Yan. And then any other principle that you feel is important. Kailangan kasama yan sa norm natin, no? Na pag-uusapan natin. So, build your own team. Hindi mo kailangan ng consultant. Pagka nasunod mo to, you will be able to build your own team. Ito yung example ng ground rules sa meeting. Sa amin to. Listen without interrupting. Start and end meetings on time. Be clear and concise in your communication. If you don't understand, ask. Provide constructive feedback, not personal attack. Bawal ang personal attacks. No? Use the right channel for the right message. Respect each other's time and commitment. Keep everyone informed of important updates. Respond to emails or texts within the day. O, yan yung example po ng norms na pwede nating gamitin sa ating team. Pwede nyong i-customize for the nature of your work. Okay? Next po ay avoidance of accountability. When people don't trust each other, and they don't communicate well, people are not committed. And when people are not committed, they lower their standard. Hindi naman ako naniniwalang magiging successful yung team mo, so hindi ako mo asa. Ano nangyayari? They tolerate poor performance. They also set a low standard for themselves. They miss deadlines and deliverables. And they rely on the leader to police everyone. No? So, hindi ko sinisita yung mga kasama ko sa trabaho ng boss yan. Okay? Yan yung sign na kulang sa accountability ang yung team. So, anong kailangan mo para maging accountable yung mga tao sa team mo? Okay? High standard. Okay? You cannot have a high-performing team na mababa ang standard. Diba? Pag may mali, nakukorek agad. Hindi yung strike 1, strike 2, strike 3. Nakukorek agad. Diba? At shared responsibility. Meaning, we are mutually accountable for each other. Hindi kita nilalaglag. Hindi ko pinahihirap yung trabaho mo. Tumutulong ako. Shared responsibility. No? One way or another. Ano ang sign na maayos ang accountability sa inyong team. Okay? People hold each other to the same standard. Okay? In short, people submit reports on time, do their quality work, at pagka may problema, napapag-usapan agad. Call out problems early, and they share responsibility for performance. No? Ayun. So, yun yung mga signs ng accountability. I'll try to answer the questions para matapos natin tong topic na to. Dahil meron po akong series na sisimulan next week on personal mastery and personal leadership. Okay. So, ayan, without committing to a clear plan of action, people hesitate to call their peers on actions and behavior that seem counterproductive to the good of the team. Okay? Hindi masyadong malinaw yung picture dito, pero merong butas doon sa bangka. Okay? Sabi nung nandun sa may bandang taas, ayun may butas yung bangka, hindi nila nakikita. Okay? Buti na lang it's not our part of the boat, 'di ba? So mali 'yun, pag lumubog yung bangka, lubog tayong lahat. So what is accountability? Accountability is the willingness of the team members to remind one another when they are not living up to the performance standards of the group. So the leader can create this environment na hindi na hindi takot magsalita yung mga team members pagka may mali. Okay? Merong sinabi rito, paano po yung tao na ayaw ma-call out? Team agreement po ito. Team agreement. Everybody should agree na this is how we work, our ways of working. Okay? Important po ang accountability because lack of it affects the entire team, even the top performers. True. Pagka walang accountability yung mga kasama mo sa trabaho, it makes the work more difficult for the top performers. Sabi ni Grunter and Whitaker, the culture of any organization is shaped by the worst behavior the leader is willing to tolerate. Okay? So, kung ikaw ay, anong tawag doon? Tolerant. Okay? Tolerant na leader. Tinotolerate mo yung mga maling ginagawa ng tao, you will have a mediocre culture. It also says here that it matters what leaders say, do, or don't do. Okay? So, yan. So, anong pwede mong gawin? What can you do as a leader? Here are a few suggestions. Una, lead by example. Kung gusto mong yung mga tao ay marunong makinig, dapat as a leader, marunong ka rin makinig. Okay? Set ground rules. Napag-usapan na natin yan. Clarify goals and objectives. Create a clear decision-making process. This one, very important. Anong desisyon ang pwedeng gawin ng mga team members mo na hindi kailangang ipagpaalam sa'yo? Anong desisyon ang kailangan nilang i-escalate sa'yo? It helps when that's clear. No? Hold team members accountable for commitment. In short, pag may pinagawa ka, singilin mo. Merong mga ibang leaders, utos nila, gawa nila. Inutos mo, hindi ka sinunod, ikaw ang gumawa. Mali po yun. No? Establish peer accountability. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Pagka merong kang kailangan sa kasama mo sa trabaho at hindi nila tinupad yung kanilang pangako, dapat kaya mo silang sitahin. No? Conduct regular check-ins with the team. Okay? So yung regular short meetings where we make sure that everybody is accountable for their deliverables. Address accountability lapses. Huwag nyo pong palampasin yung mga lapses ng mga tao. Call it out. Kausapin nyo sila without shaming them or embarrassing them. No? Monitor progress. People are more accountable when they know that the leader is committed to delivery and accountable for delivery. No? Celebrate achievements. Dapat merong difference yung winning at saka losing. Pagka may mali, sinisita mo. Pagka maayos ang gawa, do you celebrate them? No? Celebrate wins. Ayan. So anong mga key points natin dito? Accountability on a strong team occurs directly among peers. Dapat lahat ng membro sa team mutually accountable. Team members must demonstrate a willingness to confront difficult issues, and meeting provides best opportunity for holding one another accountable. Last po, inattention to results. Okay? Pagka ang tao walang tiwala sa isa't isa, they don't deal with conflict well, they're not committed, at hindi sila accountable, wala na silang interest sa results. Oo. So ano ang mga signs na may dysfunction ang team mo sa result? Okay? Hindi nami-meet yung target. Yung mga high achievers, high performers, nagre-resign. Okay? Ang naiiwan ay yung mga petics. No? Yung mga tao, mas importante sa kanila, yung kanilang, ang priority nila, yung sarili nila, wala silang pake doon sa goal ng team. Yan. So, mahirap mag-succeed ang team pagka kanya-kanya yung mga team members. Okay. So, how do you solve this problem? How do you create a results-oriented team? Dapat priority yung team goal, merong shared success, at focused ang execution ng team. When that happens, you will have a team that's achievement-oriented. They're able to retain people because high-performing individuals, high-performing teams are well rewarded. Okay? Put team goals ahead of self-interest and stay focused and win together. So, yun yung signs na you have a results-oriented team. Ano yung inattention to results? It occurs when team members put their individual needs, ego, career development, recognition, need to save face, ayaw mapahiya, or even the needs of the division or section ahead of the team. Ayan. Okay? Importante ba ang score? Okay? Marami tayong tawag dyan sa score na yan. Targets, KPIs, metrics, performance metrics. Importante yan. Nasubukan nyo na po bang mag-basketball ng walang scoreboard? Di ba? Magkaiba yung pakiramdam nung nagba-basketball ka na may scoreboard at yung basketball na walang scoreboard. Okay? So, ano yung results-oriented behavior ng team? Align goals with the team's mission and objectives. So, malinaw sa bawat isa kung ano yung goal. People take ownership and meet commitments consistently. Proactively seek opportunities for improvement. So, may mga kaizen, may mga agile projects, adapt to changing circumstances, and embrace flexibility. So, mas flexible yung mga tao. Communicate clearly and openly to foster collaboration. Sasagutin ko po yan, dapat itaas pa din yung pasahod. No? At nandito na ako sa aking last slide. If you can get all the people in an organization rowing in the same direction, you can dominate any industry at any time. Sabi yan ni Patrick Lencioni. Now, sagutin natin itong sinabi rito. Dapat itaas din ang pasahod. I agree completely 100%. If you want to maintain your high-performing individuals, ay dapat merong karampatang reward yung pagsisikap ng tao. Okay? Ngayon, ito yung problema. Merong mga tao na sinasabi, gagalingan ko lang kung bibigyan nyo ako ng mataas na sahod. No? Kung hindi nyo ako bibigyan ng mataas na sahod, hindi ko gagalingan. But many organizations are designed, ideally, designed na pag mas masipag ka, mas mahusay ka magtrabaho, mas marami kang kayang gawin, you are better rewarded or you are better paid. No? So, I know hindi yan commonplace. But that's the idea that when you are trying to build a high-performing team, you should reward people for performing well. Kung wala yung reward na yon, madidemotivate ang mga tao. No? Paano kung sobrang sip-sip siya sa ABP namin at even yung ABP tinitira yung top performer namin? Ah, uulitin ko po ito. Although maraming beses ko na tong inulit. Kung yung boss mo ay hindi maayos mag-manage ng tao, there's a good chance na yung boss na yon ay kulang sa development, kulang sa kakayahang mag-lead. So meron kang tatlong pwedeng gawin as a member of your boss's team, no? Meron kang tatlong pwedeng gawin. Una, kausapin yung boss mo. Sabihin mo yung problema sa kanya and share your expectation. Okay? Hopefully, magbago ugali pagkatapos mong kausapin. Hindi nagbago ugali. Yung pangalawang option ay tiisin. No? Don't let yourself be affected by the negative behavior or negative performance of your boss, and focus on your own progress, on your own success. Okay? Yun yung pangalawang option. Hindi mo makausap, hindi mo rin matiis. O, yung pangatlong option, iwan. Life is too short to spend, working for a boss na kulang sa competence, kulang sa kakayahang mag-motivate at mag-lead ng tao. So, just know na when you look for another company, you should be looking for a better boss as well. Kasi pwede ba na pag lumipat ka sa ibang kumpanya, mas masaklap pa yung boss na may encounter mo. No? Kaya nga sabi ni Jack Ma, don't look for a company, look for a better boss. Yun po yung aking masasabi dyan sa parte na yan. Ano? Can you suggest what reward should I give if they are earning really well? Kausapin niyo po yung inyong management pagdating dyan. Makapag-create kayo ng financial incentive. Kasi kung mahusay ang performance ng mga tao and they're contributing to company productivity, profitability, di ba? Pwede namang gawan ng konting sistema yan para magkaroon ng reward system. Financial reward, third world country tayo Anong ibibigay mo? Certificate. Baka ano pa yun. No? Ilang certificate ang kailangan ng tao, di ba? Hanggang sa magsawa siya sa certificate. Dapat merong financial reward. Kung ikaw ay middle manager or supervisor ka at hindi ginagawa ng mga managers yung pag-develop ng reward system, mag-recommend ka na, gumawa ka na ng recommendation. Madali naman siyang gawin sa ChatGPT ngayon. Di ba? Ikaw na yung gumawa ng recommendation. Gumawa ka ng business case, no, ng feasibility study ng incentive program na pwede mong ibigay sa iyong team, di ba? Pwede po bang humingi ng copy ng slides? Okay? Dalawang bagay po, no. Yung slides nito at saka itong video na to at saka yung toolkit. Meron kasi akong toolkit na ibinibigay doon po sa mga nakasubscribe sa akin. Yung mga subscribers ko po ay nagbabayad ng 99 pesos per month. So sa loob ng isang buwan, you get 4 sets of slides at 4 sets of toolkits. So hindi na lugi po. Punta kayo sa Edwin C. Ebreo na page sa Facebook. Punta po kayo doon. I-follow nyo po yung aking page. Tapos, i-click nyo po yung subscribe. At pagbabayarin po kayo 99 pesos per month. Okay? Bukas ito, i-share ko na to doon sa mga nakasubscribe sa akin. No? Kaninang umaga, binura ko yung lahat ng for March. So, ang natitira na lang doon sa aking page ay for April at saka May. So, laging may 2 buwan na nandun. Kasi that's my way of making it fair para doon sa mga nauna kong subscribers. Ano po? So, yun. Ang dami ko ng mga topics na nando doon. Yung presentation, yung slides nandun, pati yung toolkit. Hindi ko lang rito Teka, let me see if I can I can share it. Display capture, window capture. Ayan. Add. Select. Naku, na ano ko yata. Teka. Pakikita ko po sa inyo yung sinasabi ko na toolkit na ano, no? Na pinamimigay ko. Okay. Let me see if I can add source. Okay. Window capture. Ayan. Add. Ayan. Ito po. 19 pages ito na pwede nyo magamit. May introduction, may instruction kung paano gamitin yung toolkit, may self-assessment ng iyong team, okay? May self-assessment, merong reflection questions, okay? Meron kang diagnostic, team stage diagnostic, okay? Ano yung current stage ng iyong team? Ano yung what do I need to start doing, stop doing, continue doing? Okay, meron kang leadership action planner by team stage. No? Forming, storming, norming, performing, yan yung topic last week. Tapos meron tayong trust building toolkit. Yan. Team familiarity builder. Merong team discussion questions. Trust norms builder. Ano yung mga norms? Ayan, pwede kayong gumawa ng sarili nyong set of norms. Meron tayong trust maintenance checklist. Kagaya nung sabi ko kanina, you should continue to review your norms. Ayan, marami siya. 16 pages pala. No? Ng mga things that you can do to build your team. So, pinamimigay ko po yan, Word file. So, edited. Pwede nyong i-edit yung file. If you are subscribed to my page, no? Edwin C. Ebreo, yung page. Tapos, hindi po sapat na nag-follow lang kayo sa page, kailangan nyo mag-subscribe. Hanapin nyo po yung subscription para ma-subscribe kayo dun sa aking exclusive group. Yan. So, you pay 99 pesos per month and you get these things for free out of that 99 pesos. Yung slides, ito, at saka yung complete video. Hindi putol-putol na video. Yung buong session po ay makakakuha po kayo ng kopya. Okay. So, that's it. Siguro I can stay for a few more minutes for question and answer. Okay? Sa Blue Up. Ano po yung Blue Up? Sa Facebook po. Oo, sa Facebook lang. Oo. So, ayan. Hide ko na yan. Okay? So, kung meron po kayong mga katanungan, now is the time to answer your questions. Let me just, ayan. Nasagot ko na po ba lahat ng tanong? Parang nasagot ko na no? Important po ang accountability because lack of it affects the entire team, even the top performers. I agree. Saw you last week, sir, sa May AIM. Uy, thank you. Binati mo ba ako, sir? Nung nagpunta ka sa AIM? Sumama ka ba sa meeting ng PMAP at PSTD? Ayan. Alright. So, ano po ba ang topic? Tapos na po tayo sa topic natin ngayong gabi. Next week, meron po tayong magandang topic, no? At ang pag-uusapan po natin ay personal leadership. Magsisimula tayo sa self-awareness, papunta sa personal mastery, no? Ayan. Property management, applicable po. People management lang po ang aking topic. Wala po akong alam sa property management. People management lang po tayo. Ayan. Alright. So, kung wala na po kayong tanong, siguro pwede na nating tapusin yung ating session. Tandaan po ninyo, yung ating pong live session is every Monday from 8 to 9 p.m. po. 8 to 9 p.m. Tapos nagpapasobra ng kaunti kapag ka merong mga tanong. Oo. How about the micro setup? Ano pong micro setup ang pinag-uusapan natin? Micro business po ba? Oo. Pwede pong mag-message sa FB. Pwede po. Pwede. Oo. Pwede po kayo mag-message. Kahit dito po sa TikTok, sumasagot po ako sa mga message as long as hindi sobrang personal yung mga tanong, ano. Oo. Hindi po ako sumasagot sa mga tanong na political. I have my political opinion kung doon sa aking personal account ay napaka-political, but I'm here, ang pinag-uusapan po natin ay ano, leadership and management. Kayo na pong bahalang micromanagement. Marami po tayong naging usapan na tungkol sa micromanagement, ano. Isundan niyo po ako sa TikTok. Marami na po ako, mahigit 100 na yung mga videos ko sa TikTok, at maraming beses ko na ring pinag-usapan yung yung micromanagement. Ano po? So 9:15 na po at ako'y may session bukas ng umaga, next week po uli at the same time, no? Monday 8 p.m. Leadership Monday. At ang topic natin next week ay personal leadership. Leading the self. You cannot lead others effectively if you don't know how to lead yourself. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat at maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikinig. Okay, good evening and good night everyone. Bye-bye. Salamat po. Goodbye. Good night.